What is up, Moose Knuckles? JJ back here with Joey Work. And yes, no Holden Kushner. You know what? I mean, me and Joe were briefly talking about this before the show. I mean, this is why we were late. We were trying to wait for him. But I mean, the dude gets Lisa Ann on a show and then thinks it's okay to just show up, 5 minutes late to the next show. And who knows how many times he'll get wrong, when he does join this show. Joey, what are your thoughts on Holden's arrogance for deciding to be at least 5 minutes late for this show?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have a good excuse. He's trying to blame it on somebody else or somebody's bad internet. Like, come on, dude. We know you thought the time. We asked the time 4 times yesterday. We told you 12 noon. And he's trying to, I guess, he thinks that time zones over there just switch for some reason. He's like, I'm in whatever time zone he's in. He's like, I'm in this time zone. Like, guess what? The time in that time zone is still the same every week. What is it, 10 a.m.? It's still 10 a.m. every Sunday, buddy.
The behavior is deplorable. I mean, it's like he literally, I mean, you're right. He literally was like, well, you guys always change the time and the time zones always change. No, the time zones are what they are. Those aren't changing.
Yeah.
Okay? God, it's so perturbing behavior. But we deal with it. We deal with it. We help the less fortunate. We've always helped the less fortunate. And Holden's no different. So whenever he decides to find time for you and I today, maybe we'll let him in. But anyway, we could get right going. I mean, there's also the angle to this where you and I both lost our pick yesterday and Holden won his. True. So the dude's walking around with a little extra, girth in his pants today, which is fine. However, we will get started without him and we'll roll from there. Hopefully, I can at least get our times right because I know that's been a bit of an issue for Holden when he runs through these slates. So we could start right with Baltimore and the White Sox. Joey, Spencer Watkins, Dylan Cease. I have certain thoughts on this game. It's not going to be a best bet for me, but I'm interested in your take first.
Yeah, so, I guess I like what I've seen from Dylan Cease thus far, but, he's always like one inning away from a blow-up. And his last 4 starts, he had 2 blow-ups. He's allowed at least 6 runs in 2 of those 4 starts. And his road-to-home splits obviously favor him pitching at home. This is obviously in a hitter-friendly park in Baltimore. Spencer pitched really good in his 1 MLB start, but he's been in the minors for 7 years, so I don't know how far I could trust this guy. And his numbers down there weren't anything to write home about. I mean, at the number, I'm probably not really interested in backing the White Sox team. Maybe a Baltimore team total over, but ultimately I'm just going to stay away from this game.
So I debated on the team total over primarily because Dylan Cease has some pretty wickedly bad reverse splits versus right-handed bats. However, this Orioles team has been really struggling with right-handed arms. I mean, Alex Cobb comes to mind as a guy that was very vulnerable. I know they hit a lot of hard balls off him, but it didn't really work out for them. They barely got any good traction. And they faced a few righties. Giolito they did really nothing against yesterday. And even Keuchel, they got a bunch of runners on, but weren't able to do all that much with them. So for me, a team that was going streaking for a bit seems to be in a little bit of a lull. So I don't love it. Don't get me wrong. They still could. It's a small number relative to the park and the weather, but I'm going to stay away from this game entirely. And it looks like you're kind of doing the same.
Yeah.
Okay. So Marlins, Braves, Pablo Lopez, Ian Anderson. Obviously the big news coming into this game is Ronald Acuna, right? I mean, it's a severe shame always when you see a big player go down like that. I mean, obviously Trout's been out for a while as well, but not nearly as bad as an injury like Acuna just had. So what do you think about how the Braves move forward with obviously without him for the rest of the year? And are they even live in any form? I mean, we'll talk on this game briefly in a bit, but obviously his impact to this team and maybe what it means for them moving forward.
I mean, I now think it's the Mets division to lose. I mean, this Atlanta offense was struggling with Acuna in there. Now without him, I see a big hole, other than Freddie Freeman, Albies doesn't particularly, isn't overly scary to me. Otherwise, you work through that lineup. I mean, they could get through it. Dansby Swanson's having a down year, and then 7, 8, 9 is not very impressive at all. So I think they're going to struggle. This Miami team, has been fighting, they got 38 wins. Their win total is probably about 70, 65, so and Washington, if they get healthy, they should be able to compete. They're probably better than this Atlanta team. So I think it's going to be a long road for this Atlanta team. I think, this might just knock them out of playoff contention.
Now, this was a game where I have some severe flashback memories in a negative fashion. So Pablo Lopez hosted this team. I believe it was in Miami. He played the Braves. I don't know if it was in Atlanta or Miami, but I'm pretty sure it was in Miami. And I bet the under 3.5. And I think Pablo Lopez gave up like 4 runs in the first inning. For me, I want to go back to the well here in a full game under, which makes a lot of sense. Ian Anderson's been looking really good. The Marlins right now we're in a bit of a lull swinging the bat, and the Braves are a bit degraded now without Acuna. So I wanted to play the under 7, but again, Pablo Lopez, it just seems like he's a guy I rarely get right. I know he's home. He's pitched much better at home. Sometimes filled with righties. He's dominant versus right-handed bats. But I opted to stay away because I'm a little gun shy, but I do kind of lean the under at 7 runs. What do you think about the game?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you because I am an Ian Anderson somewhat truther. Obviously, we're pitching in Miami, definitely a pitcher-friendly park. And I like what I've seen from Pablo Lopez thus far. Obviously, both these teams are know the starting pitcher because they're in the same division. They pitched against each other a decent amount. Where is this? Yeah, they pitched 125 at bats for Pablo Lopez against this Braves team, and he has actually really good numbers. They 269 x-weighted on base percentage, 3.47 FIP. So he has really good numbers, and now we're obviously missing Acuna. So, and Ian Anderson can definitely hold him down. I'm definitely with you. Lean towards the under, but no official play.
Okay. Let's move over to the Rays and Blue Jays. This is going to be a best bet for me. I like the Jays here, first 5, laying the half run. The only reason why I'm not in love with the full game is that I don't want to lay a $1.24 with the Jays or penning your book. I guess you could get $1.20-ish penning your book. But the best number I saw as of 2-3 hours ago was -124 at FanDuel full game. I actually like the first 5 better anyway. Now I know that the Rays used a bunch of their pen arms yesterday, some of their better pen arms. So maybe a little factor in favor of the Jays with the pen, because the Jays don't have an awful pen. They definitely don't have a great pen, but they have 1 or 2 live arms, especially their closer. His name's not coming to mind, but he's probably one of the best relief guys in baseball, especially when I watch the big lefty. I'm not remembering his name at the moment. But for a first 5, so we know the Rays struggles with left-handed pitching. We know how often they K. They're throwing out 4 left-handed bats today in this lineup, which is a borderline no-no against Robbie Ray, who is absolutely filthy against left-handed bats. Now, he struggles a bit with right-handed bats. And as I look at this lineup, is there really a lot to fear from the right side? I mean, sure, Yandy Diaz and Arozarena, but Brujan and Mejia. So, to me, Robbie Ray should be able to navigate this lineup pretty well, and even Franco at the top. And on the other end, I know the Jays haven't exactly been swinging the bats all that well, but to me, this is a really fair price in this game for them. Just a ton of righty pop versus Rich Hill, who does struggle more with right-handed bats for obvious reasons. For me, I know the Jays can't exactly get out of their own way right now. I know they lost 2 in a row. The Rays have won 6 in a row, which is kind of what pushes me more towards the first 5 in the event that the Jays kind of wind up blowing this somehow late. But I do like Robbie Ray to outpitch Rich Hill here. I think you're getting a fair price, plus 105, or plus 108, I think, at FanDuel. What do you think about that, Joey?
Yeah, I'm with you. Tampa's going for the sweep here, Uncle Rich Hill, but he struggled since they started eliminating the sticky stuff, and he's been visibly upset. Like last start, I'm pretty sure he went into the dugout and was punching shit, throwing shit in the dugout, and he gets no favors here, obviously, versus Toronto offense, bound for a breakout game. Robbie Ray has good numbers versus Tampa team. Almost 100 at-bats. They have a 193 batting average versus him. He's striking out over 36% of batters. And we know how bad the Rays have been versus lefties this year, especially this year. Bottom 10 batting average, on-base percentage, and slugging. I think they're bottom 5 in on-base. And both bullpens have been used a lot in this series. So I know I backed the Blue Jays yesterday and the day before live. I got in on them. So I'm going to stay off this one. But I truly think they win this game, and I definitely like your look.
Awesome. So let's move over to the Red Sox Phillies. And as you know, the Red Sox, I can't stress enough. I haven't bet a Red Sox game since the end of April. This is just a team I haven't been able to get right. And they've lost me a lot of money, specifically them this year. So I haven't bet a game with them. And Nick Pavetta, hanging a 7-3 record with a 4.9 ERA. I'll be honest, he's kind of impressed me. Now, granted, some of his advanced stuff's a little ugly, but I thought, because he comes from Philly and here's a little bit of a narrative street with him facing the Phillies. But he just seemed like a pitcher destined to fail in the American League, a guy that walked a ton of guys, had issues with the home run ball, severe location issues, but he's always had good stuff, good strikeout stuff, like a lot of those Phillies pitchers. Vince Velasquez kind of comes to mind, Zach Eflin. They're all kind of built the same, where they walk a lot of guys, high K rates, home run ball's an issue. But either way, Pavetta here draws the Phillies here with nowhere really to hide. in this against this Phil's lineup, obviously with no National League pitcher batting. But they do get Brandon Kinsler, where the sample size is small, but his ERA has been woeful. Faces a very tough Boston lineup here at what I consider a pretty cheap price for Boston. I have no personal take in this game. As you know, I'm not betting Red Sox games, but what do you think about this game, Joey?
So you're saying Brandon Kinsler is starting for Philly?
That's what I see.
Okay. Yeah, he might be starting, and then they're going to go to Chris Sanchez.
Okay.
As a primary. So Sanchez, I thought he was going to start. So it was supposed to be his first major league start, but he's a lefty. He posted a 4.46 ERA, 1.47 WHIP in the minors, 38 innings in the minors. He has good stuff, but he does have trouble locating the zone at times. And his last 5 starts, he hasn't pitched more than 3 innings. So this is basically a bullpen game for the Phillies, and I mean, that's the worst bullpen in baseball. So Pavetta obviously going for the Bo Sox. He's been pretty good as of late, and his numbers in a small sample size versus the Phillies are pretty good. You know, he has pitched much better on the road this year, so that's somewhat in question. I do expect runs. Phillies, you know, if the Phillies have a solid lineup in there today, they do. Looks like they have, you know, basically the open day lineup. Brad Miller's all the way down at the bottom. I definitely expect them to score some runs off Pavetta, and the Red Sox are definitely scoring runs off this Phillies bullpen. So lean would be towards the over. Looks like the wind's blowing out as well. So lean is towards the over and probably the Red Sox, but nothing official here.
Okay, cool. Now the Mets, Pirates, Aaron Loop, Chase DeJong. Mets about $140, total 6.5, 7, I guess, pending your spot. I don't have a very good look in this game. Now, Loop is he like a glorified relief pitcher? Joey, I don't know much about him specifically. I assume he is with the record.
Is that for the Mets, Aaron Loop?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing undecided. But this is the Mets announced yesterday this is going to be a full bullpen game.
Got it. Okay. So the Pirates, as I've said earlier in the year, and you guys might have seen me ride them from time to time with their sticks when they're going well. Their sticks have not been going well recently, though. I think they've scored more than 3 runs in a game or more than 4 runs in a game, a total of 0 times. And I might keep going back. It's like they've scored more than 4 runs 0 times in their last 14 games.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I mean, that's pretty crazy. I mean, you would think accidentally in one game you would score more than 4 runs.
Yeah, they accidentally scored 3 that one game you were on.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and I'm here to tell the story about the one time I bet a first 5 and they scored 3 runs. But either way, I don't have much of a read here. It is a bit of an ugly game, obviously, with the bullpen and on the Mets end. And Chase DeJong is a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde type pitcher for sure. Another guy that doesn't really eat innings either. Mets have been swinging the sticks well, though. So do you have any thoughts coming in?
Yeah, I mean, they split the doubleheader yesterday, which happens a lot in the MLB, you know. But Chase DeJong on the hill for Pittsburgh, I am not impressed with him, you know. Throw the numbers out. If you watch him and have a bet on him, this is like the easiest way to get gray hairs. I mean, he has nothing overpowering, often issues free passes, rarely strikes people out. He's coming off a good start, so I do expect the Mets to get in on him probably early. The Pirates offense, you know, doesn't strike out much. Now they get a full bullpen game versus the Mets after the doubleheaders. As you mentioned, they're still having trouble scoring, but I do expect them to score some runs off of a full bullpen game because this is 9 innings, not a 7-inning game. And Pittsburgh probably tries to get as much as they can out of DeJong after having a lot of bullpen arms throw yesterday as well. So I would probably lean over in the Mets here, but again, nothing official on this one.
Okay, cool. We have a special guest who's arrived. Let's see who it is. Holden at Holden Radio has joined the cast. Hello, sir. How you doing? Thanks for taking time out of your day.
For you, Ray Valley. I saw your comment. Uncle T, you can do the human millipede with Ray Valley.
We'll give you a timeout. Don't talk to Uncle T like that.
Don't be coming in like guns blazing.
Oh, no. I'm guns blazing on Uncle T. We have a new rivalry at Run Pure Sports. He and we're definitely on opposite sides. How you doing, guys?
First of all, before any of us answer that question, Joe, I mean, you come into the show 20 minutes late. And the first words out of your mouth, you start shitbagging Uncle T.
Yeah, giving finger to people in the chat.
Yeah, right. You're dropping names from the chat and right. Shitbagging them too. Right. I mean, is there positivity ever from your side?
No, there's none. Sorry. God. Oh, look, here's JSU. JSU literally from the sports side. JSU literally just said, "You got it, dude." After we were like being all nice, he comes in the fucking chat. Show got worse with Holden. 2 goats and Holden. It's one L, not two. Ding dong. Anyways, I have huck you too, Marion. I obviously have no idea where we are in the game.
All right, so I mean, you can't just start literally naming people in the chat and just going telling them to fuck off. Like that's not going to be tolerated on this show. We don't appreciate the slander either, Holden. So maybe you come back in a little different approach, maybe a little less smelling salt, maybe.
Yeah. Holy hell!
Take
a step back.
Yeah, take a step back.
Yeah,
take a step back.
Oh, right. Okay. I'm stepping back. Oh, JJ, I forgot to tell you. Go fuck yourself. Oh! All right. So where are you? Where are you, pal?
Where are we? Where are we? All right. We were in the middle
here.
Like,
can I just give you my best bet?
Yeah. Do you know what time it is? Holden, you know what time it is?
No, I literally have no idea.
Oh.
Just bet the Red Sox over 5.5 runs.
Okay.
DK, and that's it. That's my play of the day. You
Red
want me to
Sox
go now?
What, Red Sox team total first 5? What are you even talking about?
Yeah, Red Sox team total over 5.5.
All right.
You know?
All right, great.
What game are you on, by the way?
I mean,
we already did that one, so that's good that you mentioned that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's the line? You didn't even give it a price. You just said
shit. It could be minus 7,000. Just fucking bet it. All right. You know what? I need to watch my mouth.
Yeah, we're not
G-Rising on the sports side. G-Rising, it was upsetting. We got off to a late start today. JSU had to come in and save the day. That's fine.
Don't blame it on G-Rising while you're late over here. Okay, we don't want to hear no excuses over here. Okay, we don't want to hear. Give us your best bet, and then please be quiet so we can move on to the next.
I put so much money on this bet that I have moved it from minus 115 to minus 116.
Holden's always been a line mover.
DraftKings, Red Sox over 5.5, now minus 120 in all seriousness. That's my play. Red Sox team, Nola was scratched. They literally called up 3 guys from Lehigh Valley to pitch to come into that game against Boston.
Yeah.
How do you not hit that, Joey Work, right?
I like it. I mentioned earlier, you obviously missed it, but a full bullpen game for the Phillies. Definitely expect runs.
Yeah, and other places have it at 6. I would just hit it on DK.
This is the type of content I'm here for.
Yeah, he's
F and Bob. I took under 6, feeling stronger now. I got to tell you, F and Bob, that's not a bad strategy.
This is exactly the type of content I'm here for.
Full fade.
Not a bad strategy.
Bob, that's a winner. They'll probably pay you before the game.
Don't forget, I got us a guest yesterday that got us 2,000 views on a thing. So take it easy on me, JJ. You told me I could fuck up everything for the rest of the season.
If you go back and watch the opening of the show, JJ literally called it out. He said, Holden, he brought Lisa Ann on, so now he can just show up whenever he wants. Correct. Yeah, we get it.
Yeah.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Shout out Lisa Ann.
We gave you the props. Now,
I wasn't here to hear it, and I still don't believe you.
I didn't expect you to just come in and just start, name dropping the chat.
Yeah.
F you bombs to everybody. I mean,
listen, they know
the whole show
from me. By the way, because I didn't make the bet on BetMGM, they're still at 115. So BetMGM is a better place.
Lucky all of you. Holden was moving lines at DraftKings. BetMGM hasn't caught on yet.
Yeah, you got to be crazy to not agree with me on this. How about Red Sox team total full game? That's what that is, Princess Chachu. That's 5.5 runs, full game. And I'm going to be nice. I like you, Princess Chachu, even though you use your wife's account. I really have nothing left to add. Can I just go, or what do I got to do?
It's like the backhanded compliment. It's like positivity is just so hard to exude.
No, I was being serious. I love Princess Chachu. But let's face it, he probably uses his wife's account. I don't think anybody just calls themselves Princess.
The Milwaukee Brewers host the Cincinnati Reds. Holden, Joey, and I are very looking forward to your take on this game.
Hold on, who are you looking? Princess Chachu or me?
Brandon Woodruff, Luis Castillo. One thing I'll mention about Luis Castillo is the dude is starting to find his stride a bit. Weather's been getting warmer, it's been getting warmer for a long time, and he still hasn't. But at least over his last 5 or 6 starts, he's looked really good. This one's going to be on the road against a tougher Brewers lineup, though. But Holden, what do you think?
What game are we talking about here?
Oh my goodness!
I know it's Reds and Brewers. It's Reds and Brewers. I'm just messing with you. Nothing. I got nothing on this game.
Oh,
excellent.
Thanks for showing up.
Yeah, I host the show and I'm like, got anything? You're like, Move on to Joey. I got nothing. So, I got nothing. I'll probably say that for every other game besides Boston. Just keep going.
Joey, what do you think about the game?
All right. So I did want to bet the Reds yesterday, but I didn't pull the trigger. Obviously, they eventually won that game. But do I go back to them today versus Brandon Woodruff? I'm probably going to pass. Both offenses often disappear. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens again here. Luis Castillo, has slowly pitched better, as you mentioned, and his ERA is going down after that horrid start. He gets a favorable matchup versus a team he's seen a lot of. And I expect Woodruff to pitch good here as well. This is his first time pitching against the Reds this year. And overall in his career, he has good numbers versus their team. So the lean, obviously 7 is a low number, but the lean is towards the under, but nothing official.
Okay. Twins, Jose Berrios, Willie Peralta versus the Tigers. Peralta's looked good, but again, another glorified relief pitcher. Been quite lucky as well. This line's very much so warranted, even though it's a bit thick, if you will, at about 220. Total 8.5, though. This is a good spot for Berrios to pitch pretty well. He loves pitching at home, warm weather. Tigers lineup's kind of they were hitting for a bit, stalled a bit as well. Had a few good knocks yesterday, but overall, this team's been playing above what I believe their standard is, and you would expect them to only regress from here. The Twins, on the other hand, should be actually quite the opposite. They should be progressing from here as they do get a little healthier. This line's a little too big for me to enjoy laying it, though. You could think about laying the 1.5 with the Twins, but I hate doing that with home teams. Joey, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the Twins minus 220 here, is that warranted? I guess with Berrios versus Peralta, but Peralta has looked really good the last couple starts. And at the end of the day, the Tigers have more wins than the Twins. So, I mean, I get it, on paper, the Twins are supposed to be better. They're not fully healthy. It is what it is, but at this price point, I really can't lay it. The Tigers have slowly, they've gone over their team total. This is a team that both me and you kind of like to pick at their team total and take the team total over versus, in spots. And would I go here? Probably not with Berrios on the hill. Do I think the Twins win this game? Probably. Do I think the Twins probably, cover the half run in the first 5? Probably as well. But at the price, I want no part of it.
Yeah, JJ, I was just going to say move on, but, the Twins line is definitely warranted. The Tigers have more wins than the Twins. I don't know if you knew this. And
I just said that.
I'm not going to bet this at the price point.
I'm
not
going to listen at all.
Price point.
The level of trolling deserves nothing short of another boot.
What the hell?
I mean, the guy was writing down things while you were talking, Joey. What he was writing down what you were saying, so he could repeat it.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he did. He's like, I warranted not the price point.
What the fuck happened to Holden?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, are you having a good time on the show today?
I'm having a fucking blast, man. Hold on. Here it is. This is what Joey Works said at the bottom. Line warranted.
Oh boy.
Vital Sign wants to replace me with Lisa Ann. I'm fine with that. And then Princess Chachu is actually a dog, and it's his dog's YouTube account from 9 years ago, and apparently he's in the Denver area. So what up, Princess? Keep going, JJ. I have nothing to add.
Evan Bob just asked quick why I like Castillo. I've liked him since he's come up. The kid has tremendous stuff. Problem is this year, more than ever, he's been very much so egregious with his walk problems. Also been a bit unlucky as well. But he's over his career. If you look at his numbers, once the weather gets warmer in May, June, July, and even into August, especially when he's home, one of the better pitchers in the NL, not even just, in general. And the problem is on the road, he often struggles, and in cold weather, he often struggles. But if you look at how he's pitched his last 5-6 games, he's really starting to put things together. He's eating innings again, 6 or 7 innings basically in every start, I think in his last 8 or 9. So look, I expect only good things from him moving forward, or to continue moving forward as he continues to drop that ERA down. I mean, remember his ERA, I think, was like 7.
It was. It was higher than 7, yeah.
For a good chunk of this season. So I expect him to certainly improve better. And again, if you've watched him previous years, Bob, maybe not just this year, he's been a very stable pitcher, again, especially at home and especially in warm weather. Again, this year's been a bit of an anomaly for what I'd consider it, but that's all starting to median out. Okay, next game up, Astros-Yankees, Framber Valdez, Jameson Taillon. So this is going to be another best bet for me, my last best bet. Astros team total under 4.5. Got it minus 115. FanDuel in New Jersey. So I expect you all to have similar numbers. Look, say what you want about this Astros team, this Astros lineup, but they are not hitting right now. Cole pitches tremendous yesterday, and sure, one of the better pitchers in the league. Not going to look into that too much. but then they get shut out the game before. I mean, they're looking for their first run in this series actually today. Only a run against the Athletics. They've actually gone over 4 runs, I believe, once in their last 7 or 8 games. And they've only gone over 3 runs twice in their last 7 or 8 games. So it's a team that's really struggling to plate runs. And despite all the pop in their lineup, and look, Taillon's not a bad pitcher at all. I'm definitely, believe it or not, I'm definitely more of a Taillon guy than a Montgomery guy, which some people might not like to hear because I know, Joe, I know you're a Montgomery guy.
I am.
But I think Taillon's better than he's looked. And look, the good part with this start for him is he's going to draw an Astros team that's really not hitting. Now, from a motivational standpoint, obviously for the folks that are into narratives, Aaron Judge might have poked the bear yesterday. And actually, I wanted to get your take on that, both of you. What do you think about him blatantly lying in that post-game?
Oh, that was awesome.
Interview. Like, is that something you guys like? I personally could care less, but is that something you guys like that he's just It gets a little chilly here in Houston sometimes, and I was just letting people know to, button up.
That was awesome. What do you want him to say? Yeah, I'm trolling Jose Altuve. Screw him. Screw the Astros. The Astros had a whole thing set up this whole weekend. They were giving out replica rings. They're giving out Jose Altuve jerseys. They're giving out all this shit from 2019. And now they're going to get swept.
They were giving out replica rings?
Yes, from
because
2019. Yes, they had a whole...
just like that guy I said too earlier. Fuck you, Astros. That's a bunch of bullshit.
They had a whole giveaway set up all 3 days in this series, and now they're going to get swept. And if you look at their lineup today, I mean, like, obviously Bregman's out, Correa's out, so that's hurts. Yeah. But, Gurriel is the 4-hitter, Kyle Tucker, McCormick, Toro, Robel Garcia, Maldonado.
No.
I mean, the Yankees are going to win this game.
Yeah, it's, JJ, you got what? You got the Astros team total. I mean, what about just the Astros straight up then? Or the Yankees straight up then today? I don't know.
So I debated on taking the Yanks. My issue is I would be I guess I'll be hella tilted the other way if the Yankees win a game, 6-5 today. But to me, the Yankees aren't really hitting all that well either. So it's not like you're getting a team that's in form. And Valdez has been good. I know he's a lefty, and you throw a lefty at this Yankees lineup, it's always going to be a bit intimidating for any arm. But Yankees aren't really hitting that well either. So, I mean, they should get to him. But for me, you look at the black hole that exists in this Astros lineup, Taillon should be able to get through this. And look, I do have also some concerns about this Yankees pen. I mean, Chapman is just in this weird lull right now. I don't even know how to explain it. I mean, Joe, you're a fan. What's going on with Chapman?
He can't throw strikes. The only thing he can throw a strike for is his off-speed pitch, the slider. And obviously, when you know that's going to happen, you're going to hit it. So he walked the bases loaded the last time he came in. There's basically no trust in Chapman right now. They brought him in even in a 4-run game, and he struggled. So yesterday, they had him warming up. It's a 1-run game. Cole pitched the whole time. The first guy gets on. Altuve gets on the first pitch. I think he gets maybe Aaron Boone doesn't go out. Aaron Boone goes out with 2 outs. And Jordan Alvarez is up. And you see Garrett Cole screaming at Aaron Boone saying, keep me in this effing game. If you go to the bullpen and he blows it, I'm going to be very upset. And I was literally screaming at the TV too. I said, if you take him out, Boone, you should put your papers in and get the hell out of here, because there was no way that they take him out in this game. There's really no trust in Chapman. If I looked up the MLB bullpen reports today, and it's saying that Chad Green is the new closer of the Yankees. That's definitely, I don't know who wrote that article because that's not the fucking truth. But Chad Green couldn't pitch last night because he pitched the day before. So honestly, if there is a save situation today, I wouldn't be surprised if they go to Chad Green and then they just let Chapman, work during this whole break in the MLB All-Star Game break. But essentially, there's no trust in Chapman right now, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, he's definitely been tough to watch as well. I think that overall, I'll tell you this though, I personally have Aaron Boone as like a basically right below a middle tier manager in MLB. Yeah. I think Girardi was much better. I know that Girardi kind of ran himself out of town to a certain extent, but either way, not to get off too much on a tangent. Holden, Girardi guy or a Boone guy? Which one do you prefer?
I mean, if I had to pick Girardi would be the guy. But I mean, listen, that last night, you know what happened, Joey? Chad Green was up in the pen too. He was warming a little.
Yeah, he threw the night before, so that's why I was like.
But the fact of the matter is, the number one sign. I thought it was interesting. He would have had to answer a lot of questions if Cole didn't give that up. Why didn't you go to Chapman? And I think the fact that he didn't go to Chapman says it all. It just says it all. He has zero confidence in the guy right now. So if it's a close and late game, Who's shutting it down for the Yankees?
If it's a close game, I guess it's up to Aaron Judge. It's not up to me, but if it's up to me, it wouldn't be Chapman.
Yep.
As of right now, it wouldn't be. I don't have any trust in Chapman as of late.
All right, so we can move on. The Cubs cards, Trevor Williams, Adam Wainwright. So I've bet a few Wainwright starts this year. This is a guy that I'm somewhat of a net neutral on. There's also rain, I think, in the forecast here.
Yeah, 50% rain.
I don't know if it's the game will play or not. Wainwright, a journeyman in himself.
Let me add this real quick then. The game has just been postponed.
Okay, thank you.
The Cubs and the Cardinals literally just got postponed.
So you could jump in and tell us that. We appreciate that.
I know. See, I did do something that was worth something on the show.
I thought he was going to like jump in and give his thoughts on Wainwright.
Yeah.
Okay, I respect that.
Yeah.
No way to treat your elders, JJ. No way to treat your elders.
Rangers. That comment bought you like a quick, me booting you again. I'll think twice about it the next time.
This is horrible.
Holden dropping ages on the show yesterday. You love to see it.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That was an interesting take from you.
What?
The age, conversation.
Don't remember it.
What were you drunk?
That kind of night last night?
No, I just don't remember. I don't remember what the age thing was.
Oh boy!
Can you tell me real quick? I know we got to go fast, but what happened?
I don't know how it started. But next thing I know, she was giving her age. You were giving your age.
You were telling us your birthday's in a week and a half.
I was showing my forehead lines. It was your fault.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you just stop talking about non-baseball things and just get going?
Damn, Holden's in a rush now.
I got all the time in the world.
Now
I showed up late.
Now we got to hasten the show. Okay.
Yeah.
No, don't go fast. Just stop talking about things that don't matter.
Rangers ouch. Rangers Athletics. Colby Allard, Chris Bassett. Bassett's 9-2, 3.41 ERA. Allard 3.45 ERA, but quite opposite record there at 2-5. Allard, I think, has been quite fortunate though with his ERA as it stands, and I believe he comes from the left side. I don't see it here, but
he does. Yes, he does.
This is
Joey Gallo.
Yep. It's a good matchup for the A's here. I know that's $1.35, but this would make a lot of sense as they kind of get their tune right. I know they haven't exactly looked like the best form of themselves over the last week or two, but it's a small lean for me at $1.35 if you can get it. I know the line's kind of been moving. This would be one of those spots where if the A's don't score in their first half of the beginning of this game, I won't mind at all jumping on them at a much better tag at the game 0-0 heading into the bottom of the first. But overall, Joey, any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, so obviously the Rangers giving Joey Gallo the day off so he can get ready for the home run derby. That's pretty funny. They want him to win the home run derby more than they want to win this game. But their lineup is definitely watered down today, and they get a good Oakland team. Chris Bassett, off his worst start of the year. He gets a much easier lineup here. He pitched in Houston that game, so now he gets a pitcher-friendly park. And he's pitched in Texas on June 24th, 7 innings, 1-run ball, 4 strikeouts. I'm expecting somewhat of the same here. Colby Allard for the Rangers. So he pitched against this Oakland team. This will be his third time in 4 starts versus Oakland team. And, he's pitched 6 innings in both starts. He allowed 4 runs and 3 runs respectively, 6 strikeouts total in those 12 innings versus the A's team. And in his career, he's struggled versus A's team. So rather than, having a bullpen blow up, I'm going to keep this first 5 with the edge of the starting pitchers. And official play for me, Oakland Athletics, first 5 -0.5 via BetMGM plus 105.
Nice. I like it. Detailed and all. Holden, do you have something similar on your side?
What game are we talking about? No, in all seriousness, the A's thing that you have here, I love it. No Gallo today. I'm a big Bassett backer, so I'm right there with you. I'm big time on the A's today.
Awesome. Great breakdown. Giants Nationals, Kevin Gausman, Eric Fetty. Now, Fetty, that's your boy, Joey. You absolutely love the kid. Gausman, though, at two bill seems a bit high. He's been obviously having a really good year, though. And the Giants are going for a sweep today, I believe. What are your thoughts on this game, Joey?
Yeah, so Fetty, I can't get Fetty right. I used to be, Fetty day. I used to get excited to fade him, but I'm not really looking that way this year. He's pitched actually pretty decent this year. Obviously, the number's still almost a 5 ERA, so you got to take it with a grain of salt. And the Giants' offense has been really good. They've been scoring at a lot. So Gossman, 1.74 ERA. Is he going to keep this up? I don't think so. The Nationals bats, don't really scare me. That's for sure. But I don't want to. I'm not trying to lay this price with Gossman. Do I think the Giants win the game? Probably. Do they win the first 5? Probably as well. But essentially, I'm just going to be off this one.
Joey, I mean, the Nationals have been kind of mashing, though.
Yeah.
This is Juan Soto's getting hot again. I wonder if Soto's going to be in the lineup because the Derby. I'm not sure what they're going to do. Like,
I mean, why are we taking people out of the lineup for the Derby? Like,
did you see what they did with Mancini too? Mancini's out. Gallo is out. I mean,
like, you'd rather win the Derby than win a team game? That doesn't make sense to me.
Obviously, some of these guys are thinking that. I don't get it either.
And now that you mention it, because I didn't realize that when I looked at it, this Orioles lineup is a train wreck today.
Just because no Mancini? I mean, Sed Mullins is there. Sed Mullins going to hit you 5 home runs, man. He's going 5 for 5 dongs.
They're also missing who else are they missing? Because they got Urias, McKenna, Leva.
It's crazy how different this lineup looks with no Mancini in that 3-hole.
Yeah.
In the 5-hole. It's just, wow.
Yeah, because you look down, like Joey was just saying. So you got Mullins, Hayes, Santander, and Mountcastle. These are the 4 guys that are going to be in there normally. But 5 through 9 is a disaster. Like you said, Ramon Urias is hitting 5th. Why? Domingo Labia is in the lineup today. Kelvin Gutierrez. Honestly, I don't know shit about Kelvin Gutierrez. Maybe he played for the Red Sox a long time ago. Maybe he didn't. I'm not sure. But yeah, Baltimore's just a mess, man. That's a bad lineup there. But after number 4, it's bad.
Okay, so
anything talking about that game?
We don't like anything in this Giants Nats game though. We can move on.
I don't. Holden, he switched the game, so probably
not. Okay. Seattle and the Angels. Hector Santiago, Jose Suarez. Joey, I know you like a play here, so
yeah, so it's battle of the former relievers here. Jose Suarez for the Angels, Hector Santiago for the Mariners. Suarez hasn't been terrible this year, after a pretty disappointing MLB career to date, but he doesn't pitch really deep into games. But we know the Mariners are really bad versus lefties, lowest on base percentage in baseball versus lefties, second lowest batting average, and they haven't seen much of Jose Suarez at all. Hector Santiago, this will be his first start of the year. He is now the replacement for Justice Sheffield after going on the IL. And he should have a decent leash here. He did pitch in relief against the Yankees, and he pitched 76 pitches in that appearance. So I expect probably about 65, 70 pitches here if he doesn't get rocked earlier. And the Angels, the Angels are pretty good versus lefties. They have the highest slugging percentage in all of baseball versus lefties, 5th in on-base percentage versus lefties. So I'm going to take the better offense, in my opinion, the better starter here. And we'll leave it to the full game because Seattle's, bullpens are probably about even. So give me the Angels plus 100 on the money line.
Okay. I love the look. I'm not going to tail until I know Ohtani's in the lineup. Joey, just seriously, because these guys are sitting out now. So the second that lineup comes out, if Ohtani's in that lineup,
I would expect. See, the difference between the Angels, the Orioles, and the Rangers. Yeah. Joe Madden doesn't give a fuck about a home run derby.
Salvi Perez wasn't in the lineup either.
Yeah, the Royals. Yeah, the Royals. Those teams all suck. The Angels actually, the Angels are 500. Those teams are all under 500. I guess I really would expect Ohtani in the lineup. But if
what, Matt Olson is in for the A's
because the A's are good.
Yeah,
it's a good team.
You might be onto something there.
Yeah.
I will wait for just to make sure Ohtani's in the lineup. But absolutely, I love that look. That's a terrific look. So I'll just wait for Ohtani and move on from there.
Joe, you could sleep peacefully tonight knowing you have Holden. Back.
This is what happens. You put me in this seat. I'm not a host. Completely fucking useless. It's not even close.
Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Tony Gonsolin, Merrill Kelly. Kelly,
going on with that mic over there.
Yeah, what's up with that, JJ?
What do I sound like?
I don't know. It's going loud, not loud, loud, not loud.
Yeah,
totally. Done it like 3 times, but I ignored it. But
Holden, I appreciate you letting me know.
Holden made some weird face, so I wasn't sure, what was going on.
I had gas.
Trying to adjust it a bit.
Whoa. What the hell was that? What's going on over there, dude?
There's some severe electrical issues happening in this house. I'll move the mic back.
B-Rad Malibu. My favorite bet, my best bet, Dodgers minus 270 money line. I always say this. Now, listen, guys. I was talking about this last night. If you go on the social medias, there's a whole bunch of touts out there. Like every day, you'll see them bet this at minus 190, bet this at minus 165, bet this at minus 210, and those are the guys that are complete dog shit. Like, look, I've won 10 out of my last 8 bets. I'm the best better ever, and they're all like. There's no way. First of all, you're losing
betting
all the
that
time.
long. If you're betting that long time, that long term, that line, you're not profitable. So actually, funny story. I went to William Hill Sportsbook, which is at one of the horse track Monmouth Park about 2 days ago. There's a guy in front of me in line, and he's like, "Oh, I can't bet San Diego because they're minus 250 favorites." I'm like, okay. So he goes up to the lady in front of me at the book, and he was literally in front of me so I could see what the fuck he's betting. And he goes, give me the Dodgers money line. The Dodgers are minus 270. He said he couldn't bet a minus 250 favorite, but it was okay for him to bet minus 270. And end of the day, the Dodgers lost. The Padres won.
You hate to see it.
I was literally laughing at him.
This is why books make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this game, Dodgers D-backs, the D-backs, I said this last week and I'll keep saying it. This should be a team that no one is betting their games. Especially if you want to bet the Diamondbacks. This team just does not want to win baseball games. Now they might go on a little spurt here and there, but this team has 11 wins and 37 losses on the road, and it's very similar what the record is at home. The difference, of course, is on the road you pay a little extra tax when they verse a team like the Dodgers. You're paying even more of an extra tax. So in most scenarios, Gonsolin here should not be 240 or even 260, whatever the current line is right now, penning your book. But you find it very hard to want to bet any Diamondbacks game, whether you convince yourself there's value or not. This team does not want to win games. They're starting a bunch of randoms in multiple times. The bullpen is scattered, who they use, when they use them. There's no rhyme or rhythm to it. Again, they're trying to bring up a lot of their younger guys as well. Dodgers, of course, are trying to win games, but they're not trying to win, obviously, every game by more than one run. But overall, this will be another stay away spot for me. I just think I can't back the Dodgers because there's too much extra tax in this line, but I'm never going to bet the Diamondbacks from this point forward.
Joey, let the sharp guy go here. I mean, you want to talk about a great play after putting up 22 runs last night. The Dodgers aren't going to put up 22 runs. So I would go Dodgers plus 2.5 minus 2,000. That's just about as good a play as you're going to get today. Put it on the sheet. Dodgers plus 2.5 minus 2,000. Yes, Joey. Half a unit, though. Just a half a unit. Just a half a unit, guys.
All right. I mean, Merrill Kelly has been actually pretty good as of late, but do I trust him against his Dodgers team? I mean, he did have, back on May 20th, 7 innings, 12 strikeouts, 3 earned against his Dodgers team in LA. But again, this Diamondbacks team on the road, not very good. And I'm really not interested. Gonsolin has pitched pretty good too since he's started a couple games. He pitched 5 innings last start, limited the damage. So I mean, I expect the Dodgers to win, but I'm definitely not laying the price.
I can respect Holden really grabbing his nuts with this play. I mean, this is a really ballsy call.
Yes.
The Diamondbacks haven't won a game by more than 3 runs since I
just want to make sure I'm safe.
Yeah, it's right. You're paying for the extra security.
Right, but it's still a little worrisome, just a half a unit.
It's a little worrisome.
For all those tuning in that don't get it, it was a joke, guys. Don't actually bet that.
Can you even find? Yeah, you could probably go to bet. I wonder what that number is. Dodgers plus 2.5. Like, would anybody be dumb enough to actually bet that? Plus 2.5.
You just have to put the caveat out there.
Yeah, thank you very much. Listen, he's really not a total idiot, just a half idiot. Okay, he was just kidding.
Padres, Rockies, Ryan Weathers, John Gray lined at $1.80 in favor of the Padres, which to me makes sense. Gray's been good, but the Rockies cannot win games on the road. They started to win like a few over their
yesterday,
match, but 8-34 on the road, which you would expect me. Now, this team is not. I mean, considering how good they are at home, it's crazy how bad they are, how bad they've been on the road. I know that you play with the Coors Field weather, but overall, I mean, the altitude. But either way, it doesn't make sense, and you would think that would start to median out. Either way, what do you think of this line, Joey? At $1.80, Weathers has been good. I don't know if he's a bit overrated, though, depending on what your thoughts are overall market. But this line seems a bit thick to me, but that's just my 2 cents. What do you think, Joey?
Yeah, I thought it was thick yesterday, and I should have gotten on Herman Marquez. I should have even just took the first 5 Colorado at a nice juicy price because they won that game 3-0. Herman pitched really good. But John Gray has struggled, and he has struggled on the road as well. But Ryan Weathers, I don't expect, he's going to pitch 5 innings at most, maybe 4, probably about 4 innings. He hasn't pitched deep into any game really this year at all. But Colorado, as you mentioned, so bad on the road. They can only hit in Coors Field. And do I trust them against a lefty on the road? Probably not. And I don't think John Gray is going to fare well here. So I think the line is probably justified. Wind blowing out 9 miles an hour. I was more interested yesterday. I should have won yesterday. So I'm just going to stay off today.
Holden, before you go in, I just want to show how helpful you've been on this show. Air Watto found
that. You're welcome.
Massive value on the Dodgers.
Yeah, let me just say this, Air Watto. I have changed the bet. BetMGM obviously does not
changes it after we give it out.
Yeah, they don't know how good this bet is. Actually, you can get Dodgers plus 4.5 at minus 1,600. So I think that's the way I'm going to go. Again, I think the 3-unit thing is irresponsible. You got to worry about bankroll. With this new information, though, definitely 3/4 of a unit.
So an upgrade to 0.75 U at minus 1,600.
Right. Wow. Yeah, remember my unit is $1. So no, like a real dollar, not a dollar, like a dollar. Hey, $1, a real dollar, $1. That's 75 cents at minus 1,600. That's quite a return. Thank you, JJ.
So that runs down the slate for today. I do think we should just briefly talk on the home run derby. I have a pick that I like for the derby. Actually, I know you don't bet it. I don't usually bet the derby, but I actually have a pick that I think makes a lot of sense. Furthest home run hit, Ohtani's 4-1. He's not even the biggest favorite. I think Gallo is. To me, as long as he lasts long enough to at least get equal swings to even median amount of swings, the dude has like what, 15 or 20 balls this year over 110 miles an hour. He's going to go into Coors Field. If he hits a few of those, which he should, I'd expect to see something in the 490 neighborhood from him in that park, 490, 495, especially if he gets that type of velo off the bat. I just think there's a tremendous amount of value there. Obviously, if he's one and done and he doesn't make it through the second round, then yeah, it's going to be an issue because he's going to not have as many swings. But assuming all swings are penning equal coming in, to me, there's a lot of value there at 4-1 Ohtani. Furthest ball hit of the night. Thoughts?
All right. I'm not against it. I'm not going to bet the home run derby, but if you're looking for a play, I would probably advise taking one of the long shots. Maybe Trevor Story in his home park. Maybe a little Juan Soto if he can knock off Ohtani to start. Because Soto has the launch angle to do it, and he's going to take it serious, I would assume. But otherwise, no place for me here.
Mancini would be quite a story. I just think that no pun intended with story, but he would be quite a win for him if he can pull it off. All things considered on his end, he just from a between launch angle and velo perspective doesn't really par up well with these bats. But again, if he can just find, it's not going to take a lot to get a ball out here in Coors.
Yep.
So I think that's an underrated. That's why I think it makes this almost unbettable from a winner perspective. Because again, guys that like fly balls that go 350 in most parks will carry out of Coors. But again, I do think if Ohtani lasts long enough, to me, he might have like the 3 furthest balls hit tomorrow night.
Easily. Yeah. It might go out of the park in all seriousness. Like they could hit these balls out of the park. They're home run derby park. They're home run derby balls, no humidor, and it's going to be 90 degrees.
And
I'm taking my 3 and my 6
right?
Yeah. I'm taking my 2 kids tomorrow. Or my son, my 3-year-old son's talking shit to me already. He's like, you don't even know what you're doing. This Ohtani guy is not going to win. I was like, what are you talking about? You barely know English. He's like, no, take Matt Olson at plus 750. So me and him got a little bet on the line. I just want to make sure I beat your dad to make him sure my kid is big into gambling. You started at 6, JJ. I start mine at 3. It happens starting tomorrow.
Nice. What's on the line? A hot dog or something?
No, money.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, all the money his grandparents set him. And if he doesn't win, I get it all. And if he wins, he gets to kick me in the nuts. That was what he wanted. So
there you go. You got to videotape that when he wins.
He's really short though, so he might not hit me.
That'll be worth videotaping.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Better pay up too, or I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, and even our boy Twatty likes Ohtani to win it. My only issue with folks taking Ohtani is you're not going to make a living betting guys plus 350 to win home run derby.
No shot.
So the odds to me aren't there. But I do, like I said, if you like Ohtani to win, it's likely because you think he's going to obviously go to the end, and if he gets enough swings, he has no business not having the furthest ball hit tomorrow night, especially with the pop he has versus everybody else. Gallo to me would be his only competitor in this. And if Gallo just flubs up in the first round or so, and Ohtani has more swings from it, yeah, to me it's not easy money, but I do really like that call. Either way, any final notes? Are we ready to watch some baseball?
I really like my pick today, is all I'll say. I actually really feel confident in it as opposed to being forced to make a pick, a horrible one. Today I actually like my pick.
Holden, we actually gave you props because you did give out a winner yesterday on the show.
The show yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely
saved. So embarrassing.
You carried the show, Holden.
Yeah.
And I must say, and I'll give you guys a shout out to that. Like I was gonna bet it, but if one of you two guys was like, God, that's a horrible bet, I wouldn't have done it. So I stayed on track. Thanks for the little push. And in all seriousness, that's what it was. And I think you're forgetting one thing, JJ. You need to tell the people what they get when they sign up, how to sign up, how much it costs, and the promo code, please, because we're trying to get more people to come on with us.
Yeah, 100%. So runpurebets.com. All the content for all sports from all of us, obviously our Discord as well. Code BEST25 off for 25% off. It only costs you about $15 for a week, $45 for the month. And if you're already on the DFS end, Get Bets gets you a free month of the Bets end along with the DFS end. So again, if you're already going to get the DFS stuff, the Bet stuff is free as well with that code. And again, Holden's best bet was Sox over 5.5 team total.
No. Dodgers plus 4.5 minus 16.25.
That's right. And Holden
plus 4.5 minus 16.25. The bet I really, in all seriousness, yes. Red Sox team total over 5.5. I don't know about taking the side in the game at this point, right? Under 6. You learned how to put the captions up there on the screen. I think that's wonderful. How'd you do that?
I mean, I've known. I just didn't realize how fruitful it could be for this show. I like people grabbing their nuts and making these comments mid-show and then just trolling you guys about it.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't blame him for doing that. The Red Sox are minus 195. That's stupid. Just go with the team total. Watch them smash over again. That's all they're doing.
Awesome. And then, Joey, you were on the Angels
money line, Athletics first 5 minus 0.5.
Okay, awesome. And I like the Jays first 5 minus 0.5. Same price as Joey's at plus 105. And then Astros under their team total at 4.5. Got that minus 115 FanDuel. As always, folks, thank you for watching. If you're Italian, I hope you've already strapped a flag to your car. You've been driving around playing Italian music because that's what a lot of idiots do in my area. So I hope you're doing that as well.
Why?
Why what? There was no.
Why are they doing it?
Because the Euro Championship is today.
Oh God! All right, whatever.
England and Italia, Holden.
So anyway, American sports.
Anyway,
American sports play here: baseball, football. We invented basketball. Even though he's a Canadian, he still coached at Kansas. Doesn't matter. If it's not American, we don't care about
it. Holden does not speak on behalf of this entire show. I want to be clear.
Agreed.
You were using the word "we," and I'm just a little confused on who you were, dropping into that mix. So I just wanted to make it clear. Either way, enjoy the Euro Cup if you watch it. Other than that, enjoy the baseball.
I hope you don't.
Enjoy the baseball slate today. Okay. Enjoy the home run derby. I'll probably be back Monday night. I don't normally bet the All-Star game, but I'll give you guys a video for Tuesday so that we have a video on here we have a few days off from baseball, right? Till Friday?
We got
Friday? Seriously? There's not even Thursday?
There's one. The Yankees play the Red Sox on Thursday. That's it.
All right. So that'll be holy shit. Basically, I took the wrong week to take off. Should have taken next week off, not the week after. Wow. Really? There's nothing going on next week but the All-Star game. Okay. Yeah. And maybe the NBA Finals. We got 2 games, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. This is the dead season. And then guess what? When we come back, JJ, NFL, baby, Joey, NFL. I mean,
right.
Start digging in. It's going to be a lot of fun. And yes, we did lose to Nigeria last night, B-Rad. That was a little bit surprising. Team USA with Durant, with Dame Lillard. JJ wants to get out of here so bad, but that was so embarrassing. But it doesn't seem like anybody cared because even the Nigerian players, there was 5 NBA players like Sadiq Bey and those other guys. They beat and they were like, high five, big deal. So maybe we're not screwed. And yes, Let's bet some Olympic basketball. I'm looking forward to that.
What was my body language giving away that I needed to get the hell out of here?
Just normal body language, like get the fuck off my show, Holden. It's just I feel it. I feel the vibe. But it looked really, really serious that time.
Thank you for breaking that down.
Welcome.
So I'll have the all-star pick for you for Tuesday, and then I'll be back on Friday. Joe, you can get a nice little week off here from baseball. So
what are you doing?
I still work my daily job, but
he's partying today, Holden. Look at him. He looks like he's ready to go.
I'm ready to go. I was right.
Yeah, where are you going? Are you going to like a wedding or something?
A wedding? Yeah, where
that's how you dress. That's how you dress when you go to weddings, Holden? That's how you dress?
That's what they do in Colorado?
Yeah.
Okay.
Colorado, they wear sweats.
I'm going to a brewery and then a party afterwards. All right. You want to get invited, Holden? You're not invited.
I didn't ask.
Good. I just told you.
Holy
JJ,
shit, we got
you
the
can
whole
come if
week
you want.
off next week. Wow. Boy, I picked the wrong week. Okay, whatever. Who cares?
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for watching. Be sure to gamble responsibly. Stay safe. And as always, folks, run pure. See you in a few days with more content this week. Until then, be safe, folks. Later.